high in the hills of rural Montana, where pine trees whispered in the wind and the roads wound like lazy rivers, stood a small wooden cabin nestled against a dense forest. It was the kind of place the world forgot, quiet, peaceful, untouched by the rush of modern life. That cabin belonged to Nathan Carter, a 38-year-old single dad who had recently moved there with his daughter, Lily, hoping for a fresh start after a painful divorce and a stressful life in the city. Nathan wasn't wealthy. He worked remotely as a software technician and spent his days juggling code, chores, and raising his 10-year-old girl. The cabin was beautiful but old, and between his work and parenting, it had started falling apart, dust collecting in corners, windows fogging and leaves piling up around the porch. One morning, as Nathan drove Lily to the small town nearby for school, he passed a woman standing beside the bulletin board outside the general store. She looked worn, not old, but weary. Her hair was tied in a loose bun, her clothes mismatched, and a small child clung to her leg. He wouldn't have noticed her had she not stepped up to him as he locked his truck. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. "Do you need any help? I can clean." "I can cook too." Nathan paused, unsure. He was cautious by nature, but something in her voice, a blend of pride and desperation, made him stop. He glanced at Lily, who gave a shrug. "We could use some help, Dad. The cabin smells weird." He turned back to the woman. "What's your name?" "Angela," she replied. "Angela Rowe. How much do you charge?" "Whatever you think is fair." That answer bothered him. It wasn't just humble, it was empty, like someone who hadn't been paid in a while. "I'll pay $100 to clean the cabin, top to bottom." "That fair?" Nathan offered. Angela's eyes lit up. "Yes, sir. I'll start today if that's okay." He gave her the directions and warned her about the steep trail to the cabin. She nodded quickly and thanked him, clutching her child's hand as they walked off toward an old pickup truck parked nearby. Nathan didn't think much about it until he returned home later that evening. The moment he stepped through the door, something felt different. The air was cleaner. The dusty scent was gone. The windows sparkled. The floor was swept. The counters wiped spotless. Even the old stone fireplace had been scrubbed. He was genuinely impressed. There was no sign of Angela, but a small handwritten note sat on the table. "Thank you. I'll come again tomorrow to finish the upstairs, if that's okay." Angela. Nathan nodded to himself. She'd earned every penny. The next few days followed the same rhythm. Angela arrived in the late morning, always alone, always gone by the time Nathan returned. The house got cleaner, warmer. For the first time in months, it felt like a home, but on the fifth day, something changed. Nathan came home earlier than usual after a client canceled their meeting. As he pulled into the drive, he spotted movement behind the cabin, small figures darting into the trees. He frowned, then walked to the back porch. There, sitting on the deck, was a little girl, not more than 5, holding a slice of bread in her lap. She froze when she saw him, crumbs still clinging to her mouth. Inside, voices whispered frantically. He opened the back door quietly and stepped inside. In the pantry, the place he rarely used, he found something that stopped him cold: blankets, pillows, empty food wrappers, a doll, a pair of children's shoes. It was a hiding place. "Angela?" He called out. No answer. He turned toward the stairs and found her standing there, eyes wide with fear. Behind her were 6 children, all different ages, all thin and cautious. Nathan didn't speak at first. Angela stepped forward, voice trembling. "Please don't call anyone. I swear, we're not trying to steal or hurt anything. I just needed work. I just needed a place to let them rest." He looked around. The pantry now made sense. So did the missing snacks, the moved blankets, the occasional sound he'd chalked up to creaky wood. "You're living here?" he asked softly. "No," she said quickly. "Just hiding here during the day. The kids stay in the woods. I come in to clean. They sneak in when no one's around." Nathan sat down on the steps. "Why didn't you just say something?" She wiped her eyes. "Because people don't help women like me anymore." Angela's story came out slowly. Her husband had abandoned them 2 years ago. She had no family, no support, and every shelter was full. She'd been living out of their truck, parking deep in the forest to stay hidden. Her kids, all hers, from ages 2 to 13, hadn't eaten properly in days. I just wanted to earn enough to feed them, she whispered. That's all? Nathan felt something break inside him. He saw his own daughter and Angela's youngest. He imagined Lily sleeping in a truck, begging for scraps. It was unbearable. He stood up. All right. Here's what we're going to do. You and your kids are going to come inside. You're going to sleep in real beds. You're going to eat a hot meal tonight. Angela shook her head fiercely. I can't ask you. You didn't, he said gently. I'm offering. That night was chaos. Lily came home to find 6 children raiding the fridge, Angela trying to control them, and Nathan boiling spaghetti like it was a military operation. But something in the laughter, the noise, the warmth felt right. Lily, wise beyond her years, simply said, "Can they stay?" And Nathan replied, "For now, yes." The next few weeks transformed the cabin into something entirely different. Nathan converted the garage into a sleeping area with bunk beds. He bought groceries in bulk. He used his savings to fix the truck so Angela could use it again. Angela, in return, took over cooking, cleaning, and tutoring the kids. Lily suddenly had a group of playmates. Laughter filled the halls. The woods behind the house turned into a playground. Word started to spread in town. Some judged, others helped. A local church donated clothes. A retired teacher offered to homeschool. A grocer gave discounts quietly, saying, "I know what it's like to grow up hungry." One night, Nathan stood on the porch, watching the kids play under the stars. Angela joined him, arms folded. "I don't know how to repay you," she said. Softly, "You already have," he replied. "How?" He looked at the children chasing fireflies. "You reminded me why this cabin was built. It was too quiet before, too empty. Now it's alive," she smiled. "Do you think they'll be okay? With you as their mom?" "Yeah, I think they'll be amazing." They stood in silence for a while. And then Angela whispered, "You saved us." Nathan shook his head. "No, you saved yourself." "I just left the door open."